So that passion always shines through, whether you are in a global consultancy, whether you're doing your own practice. If you're genuinely passionate about your work, you're committed to delivering values, people remember you. People remember your name more than the brand you work for.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the SuperLawyer YouTube channel. Today, we are delighted to welcome Bhavya Sharma. Ma'am is the founder of Bhavya Sharma Associates and a distinguished business consultant, corporate lawyer, and company secretary. She leads a strong network of professionals providing integrated solutions in startup fundraise, due diligence, M&A, corporate restructuring, taxation, and various other allied fields. With immense experience in startup due diligence and reputation for managing complex global transactions, she is well known in the startup founders community to emphasize the importance of client centric strategies and innovative problem solving in today's business and legal landscape. We welcome you today, ma'am. My name is Anshi and I work as an associate with the SuperLawyer team. At SuperLawyer, we showcase inspiring journeys of legal professionals offering valuable insights that greatly motivate and benefit our readers, which is the young legal community at large. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'd request Divya ma'am to now please continue with the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anshi. Wonderful to be here.
Welcome, Bhavya, and thanks from our SuperLawyer team that you agreed to give us this time. We are having one of the prominent persons right now in the startup space. Why I'm saying so? Because she currently works in CS field and extensively shares her consultancy with the startups, and she shows them the way to form that particular roadmap to success. So most welcome and thank you, Bhavya Sharma, for being here. I'm Divya Divedi and I'm team lead SuperLawyer, and I really hope that you'll enjoy our conversation today. Let's start with this particular conversation come interview today.
Thank you, Divya. Thanks for your kind words. Pleasure to be here. Looking forward to the entire session.
So let me start with the very first question of why company secretary and law both. Obviously, you must have a different kind of story to share. We would also request you to share the kind of inspiration that you got to do this particular dual part and excel in it. And how have you built your career around giving your legal advice or company secretary consultancy to startups? Because you work extensively in that particular field, which is right now sharing the whole entrepreneurial space, so to say. Please do let us know.
Sure. So, Divya, how it begins, like I have always been passionate about law and how it shapes the corporate environment. Basically, about the CS, I came to know through my school teacher when I was in class 12th. And so I got very fascinated over the board meetings, how we involve with the founders in shaping the compliance strategies and everything else. But this is the beginning, you can say so. That is how I started the CS because I wanted to be that professional who sits with the boards, founders, advising them on the governance, compliance. But it happens when reality hits you hard. When I came to know, I started looking for the job, and even I got the job very early. When I got qualified, I was one of the youngest member in the CS fraternity as well. And when I landed up my first job, I came to know that something was missing. I was capable enough to provide on the governance side, the compliance side, but from the legal perspective, in order to provide a holistic advice to a client, I always wanted to have a strong foundation in law as well. Because in CS, you study about law, but not in a real depth or not in a detailed manner, so that a student can understand how the legal scenario works, how the contract act works. So for that, I always felt that there was something missing, a part is missing. And that is how I have landed up doing the law as well. So that was the basic reason that I have done the dual degree, the CS and the law. And this dual qualification allows me to combine strategic compliance with the strong legal insight. That is very crucial as per my experience. I've been into this industry from last 12 plus years. So it is very integral. And now I felt that that is the right decision. If someone really want to go and look after through 360-degree lens, according to my recommendation, they should do CS plus law, so that at least they will try not to miss out any of the compliance and the legal perspective. If you are helping a founder or a startup in our scenario on a particular compliance part. So that is how I have started, and this is helping me even till date.
Wow, 12 years in the fraternity and going global and starting your own firm. It's absolutely amazing and mind-blowing at the same time. So you started your journey with one of the largest global consultancies, yet you decided to start your own association of Bhavya Sharma and Associates. How and when did you decide to do so? What was the inspiration behind that? And also, the other day when we were discussing, you said something about practicing either CS or law. So we would request you to talk a little bit about that as well, because that will help learners understand what and how they can pick and choose in what they will be practicing, whether they will be company secretary or they will be into the legal fraternity completely. How that works, please let us know.
I'll tell you that the biggest lesson I carried forward when I was working with the renowned firms, so that passion always shines through. Whether you are in a global consultancy, whether you're doing your own practice, if you're genuinely passionate about your work, you're committed to delivering values, people remember you. People remember your name more than the brand you work for. And this is something I am saying out of my personal experience. When I was even working as an employee for an organization, whatever assignments we had, I always tried to over deliver. We always try to give it before time. We always try that it should not hamper the client in any manner. The compliance should be well taken care of. And that's something get into my work in such a manner. And as an experience, I came to realize that passions always shine through. That experience taught me that reputation is personal. For example, this generation takes care that, oh, okay, we are working for an organization, we are working for Big Four. There's not something we are representing on our own. But a keynote to this is that the people remember your name. People remember that this person performed this task and that person was brilliant. For example, if five people are there and you are over delivering a work, people remember your name. So that experience taught me, and that reputation is something personal. It's built upon consistency, the professionalism we carry, and passion always outshines the brand. So this is the experience I have gained working with all the global giants as an employee, you can say so. And even in my practice, that helped me tremendously to cater my customers as well.
So when you decided to start your own firm, BSA, how did that particular shine of your passion and your personal connect with these people helped you? And the kind of journey that you started, it's absolutely new, giving consultancy to startups, showing them that particular path. How has your knowledge or experience with these kind of organization helped you not only establish your brand, but make sure that your clients who are absolutely new to this entrepreneurial world, they also succeed, because their success in return is showing that you also have been successful as a CS, as a lawyer. So please do enlighten us with that particular idea as in how you have made BAC this successful and made sure that your clients are also absolutely happy about your passion and your dedication.
Very nice question, I must say. So, from the very first job and till my last job, I always observed very granular details, the way we work, the way we were working with the big four, big six, top 10. So, how they deliver, what SOPs they follow, and what is the pain point of your customer, what they're looking for. I always try to keep that at the topmost priority throughout the entire assignments or whatever work we are doing, what they are looking for, what pain they are looking to resolve. So that was always an agenda, even till date, whenever we onboard a new client, whenever we take care, whenever we go through. So we always take care that how we can resolve, how we can help them achieve what they want to achieve. So this was the first agenda, that the approach should be customer centric. You should put your customer's goal first, and then you form your entire SOP all across that requirement of your customers. With due respect to all the brands who are working in this domain, they are doing an outstanding job. But what I felt with a bigger organization, there is an SOP to follow. In even for an onboarding a client, it took like 10 to 15 days. And sometimes what happened for a young startup, it is very crucial time. They want the entire assignments to be completed in those 15 days. and it cost them like anything. So they are looking for a firm who can help them do everything. They are not reluctant to get onboarded, completion of onboarded formalities, but they want the need should be taken care simultaneously. So I have always wanted to build a consultancy who can understand the founder's pain point rather than like our motto is to grow together. That we want to grow and we also want a customer to achieve what they are looking for. So we should provide a solution whereby their pain should be put on the topmost priority, what goal they want to achieve, and then we create an entire SOP along with that. So this is how I feel we are able to deliver what we are delivering today. For each and every client, we have a different SOP which we follow in order to cater their need and requirement, in order to help them. We always here internally, we say that we help startups from incorporation till IPO. So we design everything. We do not have any standard SOP applicable to each and every startup. We draft SOPs for every compliance and we work on granular details, how we can help them achieving what they want to achieve, how we can resolve this legal pain point about to enter into the scenario. So I think this is how we able to draft and help them and minimize the time frame as well within which they want to achieve that result. And that is how they got the quality work and the success comes faster than the expected time frame.
So, understanding all of this and sharing it with the client in their language must not have been very easy. Also, with all this, you are very frequently writing in several publications, giving your views and reviews about many topics, spanning from GST to NFTs to anything that is happening in disruptive tech or new startups or how they are working. All of this, how do you make sure that you are not only well equipped with the whole data, but how do you learn so much about everything going around on global platform also? Because this will help our learners understand what kind of resources they should look forward to while they are trying to understand the space. Because many a times it happens that people say that we don't know the resources, where should we research, where should we find these details, where do you get the data from? So this will be very helpful resource for them if you let us know about this, that where do you read, what kind of journals, or where do you read the case laws or the new updates for publications. And also, when do you and how do you get time to write this much?
Okay, yeah, it's a very appropriate question. The way you have begun it, that yes, it is very difficult to make a founder understand because most of them they don't come from a legal background. And we have to make a lot of effort, trust me. There is an onboarding call internally with our firm where first we try to understand what they need. And after that, we create a solution for them. We make them understand this is applicable to you. You have to follow it. We make them understand why behind that applicability, why you need it, what's the repercussion if you don't follow it. And in order to achieve that result, this is the line of process you cannot afford to miss. So this is what we let them know from the very first day, whether they want to continue with us, whether they want to join us or not. But we are very transparent in that approach. And this is something what I felt as per my experience helped us and our founders a lot. If they understand the cost of compliance, they are ready to even put that effort to help us sitting with them for making a resolution, for getting into the strategy, how to create, work upon the cap tables. If we are doing any capital restructuring, they join us for that meetings that yes, we would like to keep it this manner, we would like to keep it that manner. What will happen if we do this? How the law will impact us if we go with that. And we love it when they ask us these kind of questions. We love it that yes, they are getting into it. They are understanding that if we lose the ends, then the cost will be hard to afford. So this is the first answer to the question. And second one is that in our domain, Divya, staying updated is not optional at all. There is an update on a daily basis. Even, for example, MCA is most frequently visiting our website and our domain. So whenever we are opening the website, there is new circular, there is new change. Even a minor change impacts the reportings, impacts the compliance. So we have to stay updated. More than that, at BSA, we have a research team who work upon these research, who study. And there is two motto. First, every 15 days, we have an internal team meetings where we participate, we discuss those research, how those changes under the law can impact our client, which client are impacted, and if need be, we update their compliance mechanism. So there will be a very nominal impact to their workflow, the compliance which we are doing as of now for them. And if you ask me personally, I read a lot, whatever comes there in the law, to the websites. And in our own Institute of Company Secretaries of India, every day there are more than 2-3 sessions, webinars are there on the recently introduced topics. So I participate in these seminars personally, and came to know about the insights, what is happening, how that will impact the industry, which industry will be impacted the most. Then I share those insights with my team. Then we brainstorm and create our internal list, and then finalize. This is how all together as a team we work upon these updates, and then I create that how I can give back to the ecosystem, and I can create a small piece of content which can help our founders, and in addition to that, who are even not associated with us, can gain any help if possible, because if at least they'll get a red alert that yes, this happens, if that comes to their knowledge, and we can even ask our own consultant to take care of it in future. So this is all what we do.
Having a dedicated research team in entirety, it's a different experience altogether, because you get updated from every kind of resource possible, because obviously it cannot be one person's job. You just cannot get involved, but the way you have explained it, it's so beautiful. I could feel that the way research must have been done over there. It's so exciting to understand that all these things, they come together and help you give insights and write in those publications. So moving on with all of this, and obviously advising the innovative startups like MeDial, especially in creating professional platforms which are focused on transparency and other engagements like stakeholder engagements and all. How has your experience in compliance and governance helped you navigate these startups through all these kind of complexities and making them understand? I mean, again, I'm asking the same thing because it's not an easy task to explain it to a person who's not aware of legal landscape or company secretary landscape, because at the end of the day, you have to help them by making them understand. So how have you been doing this over the years?
So, Divya, I would love to answer this question again and again, because this is something even we personally felt so much in the past, and even it comes to us every now and then whenever we are in discussion, even with the new founders, whenever we are onboarding a client. Trust me, sometimes there are scenarios when a startup needs a consultant badly. But because founders are unable to understand the need of a consultant, a startup consultant from a legal perspective, they are not ready to onboard that person. So what my answer to my team is that it ultimately even depends upon the founder. Whenever you are doing anything for your startup, it ultimately depends upon the founder. If they take compliance seriously, we can guide them smoothly. And we have experienced this a lot. If they understand, if they're worried that we should not mess, please take care of it. If you understand, let us know. If you need any help, let us know what we are doing wrong. Please run a small due diligence, because as per our part of practice, we run a due diligence before onboarding a client in order to understand where they are lagging as of now, and at least we start filling those gaps. So sometimes they ask us that please run a due diligence, let us know. And sometimes the other way around completely. So they understand, no, things are all okay because we have not received any notice till date. It means we are doing great. So there's no need. You can do this part, and I think rest we are going okay. So from my personal experience and the professional experience I had with so many founders on a daily basis, every founder sooner or later realize that strong compliances is non-negotiable, especially when you're looking for a fundraise, because we are startup consultants, and the fundraise is something we deal on a daily basis 24/7. So whenever even a small investor comes into the picture, founders start realizing that yes, I need someone who can take care of the compliance. This needs to be taken care, else there will be a penalty. So when they understand there is a penalty, then they understand the need of compliances. So our role and the main goal is to make compliance less intimidating and more of a growth enabler, to make them understand that this can hinder your growth. Instead that, yes, you need it, this is applicable, you will be penalized, but this will gonna stop you somewhere. And at that time, you have to done the entire process with the retrospective effect, which will cost you 5 times more than what it could have been if you done it in the past. So it completely depends upon the founder.
Yes, it's not that easy to explain things when people are not ready to understand as well. But obviously, you have been doing it over the years, so you have made an expertise out of it. But it really is too difficult to understand as a startup that you have to survive for a certain amount of time to become successful. That's something it's not easy to explain. Moving forward, in the very start, we were discussing about personal life, how one can manage or how people do manage. How do you manage your personal and professional life so diligently, I would say, without affecting your professional life, professional success, and your personal success as well? And how do you keep your mental health in check? Because we usually keep our physical health in check most of the times, but sometimes it happens that we tend to miss out that particular mental health part. So how do you make sure that you keep that safe, and how you keep that safe for your team members also? Because obviously you are running a very successful consultancy services, and that's something which I'm pretty sure you must be doing for so long. Please do let us know about that as well.
Honestly, to be very transparent, the balance is still a work in progress, because sometimes you have to deliver, you have to give all of your time to your work, and sometimes that all your personal life need is you. So still I'm figuring out the way, but trust me, the two pillar which are helping me a lot, one is my family, another is my partner, who is also very understanding that my work needs me more than anything else. And in the initial stage of my setting up this consultancy as well, he understood that yes, this work needs a 24/7 commitment, and we have to give it all, whatever we have. I have just begun with a small office space, which my father gave on rent to someone. I've asked him to get it vacate. And I was clueless that how I will onboard my first team member. It took me, you can say, 6 months to onboard a team member. So it's not, I don't want to like make it very fancy that yes, it's a cakewalk, it's very easy. And I would like to highlight that all it's need is 24/7 commitment. For example, for me, if I'm not working, either I'm studying or I'm traveling for the meetings, I'm discussing things, I'm figuring out the work. And sometimes I take a day off like once in a month, you can say so, not more than that, because still we are in the initial stage. I try to hang out with my team. So we like to have a small lunch session. Around the festivals, we try to go out and make it lighter for the team as well. When there are due dates, when, for example, we are about to close a fundraise deal and we were getting involved, either of the team is involved from last 6 to 8 months. So we try to take them out. We try to have a good session, try to light that load. So this is what I am following as of now with the team and for me as well. But if you give your best with the honesty and dedication, growth will follow. And this is what I have gained from my experience.
All the best for that, and I really hope and we wish you all the success that is possible, because obviously honesty is something, or dedication is something which will fetch you a lot of things. Since we asked about this, I would also request, rather not request, I will ask you, what are your plans? Like, how are you planning to make it even more approachable for the clients? Why? Because when you start and when you are working with startups, and India is kind of the startup hub right now. So how do you see yourself outreaching more and more clients and making sure that your team is also growing as well as your clients are also growing? Because obviously, as much business you get, you grow as much. So how are you planning it for, let's say, maybe next 5 years, 10 years? I know it's a stretch, but still, I will request you to talk about that.
So there is no such like a handwritten plan as on date. In terms of onboarding something, I am very, very peculiar that first of all, it's not something I would focus. The money making is never an aim whenever we onboard a client. So the goal is having a consultancy in place where the growth should be on both the sides, that we should grow together. Whosoever associated with us, we would give all the contribution in terms of compliances, the help, the challenges they are facing. In order to minimize that, we would like to give it all. So what we do for us onboarding a client is like we have never done branding, we have never tried any manner of promoting ourselves. More than 95% of our clients are from the word of mouth reference, because the way I've told you, the SOPs we follow in order to deliver the work for our clients, and the transparency is always there from the day one. Whenever we onboard a first client, whenever we onboard our startup, we tell them this is how we work, this is how we will gonna work, this is what we'll be delivering, and this will be the cost for the same. And we are not like sign the proposal till the time they are not satisfied with the SOPs we are about to follow in order to cater their requirement or the startup's requirement. Till the time we are not able to resolve each and every questions of theirs, and till the time we are not internally sure that we can contribute. If we are unable to contribute, then we upfront say that we won't be able to handle this, and if we handle say these are the challenges which you will be having throughout the process. So I think transparency is something which help us expanding, considering whenever you onboard a client, they give a reference to someone else saying that yes, they do this work in that manner, and this help us achieve more. Compliance is never gonna hit you, or this will never cost you in future. If you are compliant as on date, you will not receive any notice. The fundraise process is smoother, and in the founders community, it is something they always dream whenever they're going for a fundraise. So we try to make that experience so smooth that they should not be worried that whether we'll be receiving any red flags or how we'll be able to satisfy the requirement raised by the investors. So this is something what they refer to their peers, to their friends, and this is how we onboard our clients. And more than that, our goal is that customer first. Please understand their pain. To our team as well, there are written goals where my team sets. So we have few written goals, and out of that, the first goal is customer first. Understand their pain, and we should work towards resolving that issues. And along with me, they take care of those things very beautifully. And because we try to resolve those issues, and it helps us achieve more. So this is all we are doing as of now. There is no such like pre-written plan for the future. And this is it for now. Just wanted to have a good brand who can help the startups to grow, and who make the founders understand about the compliances and can manage all of their pain under one roof. This is all what we have for now.
It's actually a very noble thought that you stick with your plan for so long that it will be definitely successful one day, super successful, I would say. We already have reached towards almost the end of the conversation itself. But before we say thanks, I would request you to talk a little bit about the combination of law and company secretaryship that you are successfully practicing with the understanding of law. How have you mixed this? Because the young professionals who are doing law, there are many who are doing law with CS. Sometimes they feel like which one should we pick, or how should we move forward to make a career out of understanding of both of the professional degrees. Although you cannot practice both at the same time, but still the learnings will definitely help. So how have you made that? And please do let our young learners know about it as well.
Surely, Divya, as you have rightly said, learning never goes waste. It's a very good combination. And the first decision should be made on the basis that what you want to achieve. If you want to become a corporate lawyer, then you cannot afford to miss a law, because in the CS, we study about law, but not in depth. They give us a brief, but more focus is on the corporate law part. We study more about the ESOPs, corporate restructuring, the strategic management, and everything else. But in the law, you study everything in a depth manner, be it the Instrument Act, Negotiable Act, Contracts Act. I'll give you an hypothetical example. Whenever we are executing a deal, now a CS can do all the resolutions and everything else. Whenever it comes to about drafting a contract, I have seen even fellow CS as well that they are unable to draft a contract the way lawyers do. So if you want to become a corporate lawyer, then law is a non-negotiable. But if you want to get into the complete plain side of compliance, where you either want to work or practice as a CS, then I think CS only can serve your purpose. Then you don't need to get into the dual degree of getting into CS and law as well. CS can help you sail through whatever you want to achieve. But if you want to give an advice to the customers from a 360-degree angle, then you need both the degrees in order to give that holistic advice, because otherwise you will lose either of the ends. You will give an advice from compliance perspective, but you will miss the law because you're not aware about it. For example, what will happen if you miss a value of stamp paper on a contract? And if you miss even to attach a stamp paper on a contract, you will help them executing an affidavit, but you don't know under which article you need to get that affidavit. So these are the very granular things which you need to understand prior to the beginning of getting into this dual degree dream. So you have to understand what you want to achieve, what you want to do. And according to that, I think one should draw a line of plan that, yes, I want to do this. Even so many of my friends, they have only CS degree and they are doing pretty well in their domain. And many of them having both the degrees, but they still don't need the legal side because they are still doing the CS. And most of them are also having both the degrees, but they are more or less into the practices as well. So it completely depends from one person what they want to achieve, and they should decide beforehand before entering into either of the course.
Thank you so much for giving crystal clear ideas and views about how and what one can achieve and do. And it has been an immense pleasure of us to host you here, to learn about your successes, your struggles, your challenges, and the way you have done your CS and law and started your PSA consulting. Thank you so much, Bhavya, once again from SuperLawyer team for being here and giving us this much time. Absolute fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Divya. Pleasure to be here. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Anshi.